Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We are in intelligent data collection, and we have 6 presenters lined up. And our first presenter is Amos Oppong, presenting towards the configuration pathway for Java.
Thank you. Which one is it? F5. How can I get this for full screen? Okay, let's go. Hi, everyone. I'm Amos, and I represent this institution, LabsConnect here, and that's the t-shirt that I'm wearing. We are working on data-driven AI models for energy and climate transition modeling. Yes. I am from Ghana, and we have in various African regions, we do have issues with data. We refer to this famous equation, the Kaya identity. And then we found population here as a key metric. Because almost the whole model is designed based on population. So data about people is relevant for the emission transition modeling. However, evidence that we have suggests data reliability for Ghana and other African countries, it's really a trouble. The importance of having reliable data, of course, reliable data means reliable population data, economic output data, energy consumption, then emission estimates. Rather, as I will show, for example, we found that a lot of people do not even understand data. So for the past 2 years, we've been working on innovative ways of getting data, reliable data from people, so we could help them shape it and then advance it for national development. And we found that most Ghanaians do have errors in the data. The data is filled with errors and then inconsistent across various metrics about the individual and then the household. Yes, we found that at the personal information level, the errors are very high, and then the inconsistencies are also very high. In terms of missing data, it's moderate because they don't know much of the info that you're asking for them. So we designed this technology. We've actually built a mobile application for this one. It's available on both Android and iOS devices. And the purpose is to talk to people and let them willingly provide us with data. And then we help them identify errors and inconsistencies in the data for themselves. We chose to focus on the travel industry. For Africa, before we travel abroad, we submit massive data just for visa purposes. And these data can be shaped to fit energy decision making at the household level, at the individual level. Yet, so we're trying to help users make the data smart so that they can use it for smarter solutions. All right, so this is LabsConnect. These are two models that we have helping us market the technology. The two main challenges that we helping to fix is data unreliability and then data illiteracy. First, data is not reliable. And then two, when you ask for data, even from educated people, you find that they are highly illiterate. They don't even know how to provide the data. And I will show examples to you. Yes, I have on my screen an example. This is tied to household level data. This is Fred. As you can see here, there's a hyphen in Fred's father's surname. But we found that if you repeat the same question a couple of times, users get the response wrong. And we also found traces of these errors on one document against the other document. For example, if you pick the father's birth certificate, you can find this. If you pick the father's passport, there is no hyphen over there. So this leads to overestimation in the national estimates for data. We also have another example here. In terms of household energy demand, Ghana has a digital address system that we use now. It's tied to our PO boxes. If you can check here and then here, the digit is different by just one. And these are data that was provided by one user. He was sure that the data is right. But we found this on the bank statement. So even the banks are even making errors when it comes to individual data. We also have other examples here. All things being equal, we also found that our people do not obey instructions. Let me give you an example. On number 5, you are instructed to state the ID type and then the number. Just the number. Nobody knows the type. I believe I am the only Ghanaian here. And if I ask you to guess what kind of ID is this, you wouldn't know the kind of ID for a Ghanaian. Yes. And I also have another example here. Your mailing address, you've even been given instructions, and these apply to energy data too. The energy researchers, they will go to these households for data, and these are the kind of data that we get. So PO Box KS here in the country, from my experience, there are over 4 locations that uses KS, and they are very far from each other. So if you write KS without adding the other information, how do I know you are giving me the right address? Yes. And then in terms of errors, I believe we are in August. To the best of my knowledge, this month ends in 31 days. But as you can see, 33. Yes. Another example down here, the person who started the educational program from 2035, we are already in 20, we are already in 2024. So maybe the future, an error. And we have a lot to show. So we found that this data illiteracy is tied into not knowing what to provide, not knowing how to provide it, not knowing what to provide it, and not knowing when to provide it. Yes, so the domino effects of these data unreliability, of course, inaccurate data at the national level, flawed emission estimate, and then ineffective mitigation strategies. Ghana is driven by mostly the private sector. The private sector employs more than half of the whole country. And these private sectors are mostly run by small scale companies or individual companies, just individuals. They don't own a public company or not, just helping themselves. So data from the household at the individual level is highly relevant. And leveraging AI, we can also use AI to help the users improve the reliability of the data. Yes, this will help us with data validation, cleaning, and then enrichment. So again, we've designed the apps to help users convert their data into smart forms and then use it for smarter solutions. Once the big data is comprehensive enough, we can rely on existing models. Some of them are summarized in this study, published in the top level journal, computational socioeconomics, that we can use it to convert the data into energy, environmental, and then economic decision making for reliable pathway modeling. Yes, because once the data now becomes reliable, carbon footprints can be estimated at the house and the individual level, then the policies can be targeted and then energy can be optimized. Yeah, so our research is brief and we have a proprietary section of the research and then a non-proprietary section of the research. So the journal publications and the conferences are for non-proprietary. And then, as I said, we also have a mobile application that we're using to help people with these big data. That's it for me. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Thank you.
Any question?
Sir.
Can you just clarify, are you talking more about dealing with like individual user level input data or like people trying to large data sets where the error and propagated pipelines so you can't collect them. So basically, maybe let's go up. So what, sorry, maybe you can go up. Okay, and like what amount of this problem you think is solvable with like sort of just logical defaults and like autofill and this sorts of characteristics on input forms as opposed to like defining anything like language.
We found that the data we provide to travel abroad can be linked to almost every system, be it economic or non-economic. I'll give an example. In my country now, if I should walk to a bank to open a bank account, I'll be given some forms that it will take me about 1 hour to fill. And there's a chance that I'll make that error. Yes, so one innovation we added is once your data becomes reliable, when you get to the bank is send a QR code and then your data transfers to the bank to maintain consistency. The same applies to our national ID. The same thing. We have to fill lots of forms. And mostly we don't have the information we need to fill the form right there in our heads. We just guess. As such, when the national ID is ready, the info I have on it comes from who I truly am. Yeah, so we also found that insurance companies, they need reliable data to do these things. Even the ride-hailing apps like Uber in the US, most drivers' data is also not reliable. Yeah, so we found that if we could engineer the data well, it could be linked to almost every service in the country. Yes. So any other?
Okay. That was good. All right, so we will invite our next speaker. Forgive me if I pronounce the name wrong. Jim Chan.